Hey guys, how's it going? Um, so I'm gonna try to record this in one take. Still getting the hang of being a very creative editor, which I'm completely not. But and well, not yet at least. But yeah, I'm just wanting to get this out. Because I'm pretty excited to show you guys. It's quite simple, but I feel someone can make use of it. Um, so I have here a Python script I created. And the whole purpose of this is, well, you might see the mess here. You have PDF files everywhere and text files everywhere. And yeah, I created these. They're just called file 1, file 2s, a PDF file, a PDF file 2. And so let's run it. And what does that do? That just cleans it up. Alrighty, cool. So we have a folder here that's called PDF files, and it puts all your PDF files in the folder. Same thing with the text files, and it organizes it. Um, I just wrote this because I know a couple of people, and from people I've worked with, they tend to clutter the desktop a lot with text files, PDF files. I mean, it could be photos or anything. And so the tutorial is going to be just that, making a quick glimpse of how we move the files into the folders based on just conditional statements, and that's pretty much it. So we'll do that, and this basically also sets the foundation of of the whole script. And if you want to tinker around more with it, then we can go ahead and do that. So we'll need to import OS, and we'll import subprocess. You could technically do this with just either or, but I wanted to just do it both ways, and using them in different manners, just so you could see your choice of how you would want to go about it. Sub process is technically the preferred way, um, but yeah, just because it's more, I guess, fairly new than using os.system or whatnot, or os pipe open. Um, but yeah, okay, enough of that. Let's get to it. So the goal here, let me put these outside actually, just so kind of reset myself. And then I'll delete these folders. And oh, and by the way, yeah, if these folders already exist, say if you had all these files and you created more, it should be able to just put them inside. So say if you were to get more text files and you just run this, it'll just put that one inside as well. And it's right here. Okay, just wanted to point that out just in case you were curious about that. Okay, let's do that, and then let's go ahead and trash these out, and let's put the Python script there. All right, so I'm take this script here out of the way. We'll create it all over again, and all right. So we'll need those two: import OS, import subprocess. And in this tutorial, what we'll be using is the moving mechanism that's built into, in this case, the Windows system. The syntax is going to be different, say if you were on Linux or Mac, but the same concept applies. What am I doing? Desktop. Okay. So if on Windows, if I want to move a file, you specify simply move and then enter location of file, and then the destination of the file. So in this case, if I wanted to move all the files, I would say star TXT for text, and say, okay, well, move it to whatever folder you want to move it to. So if the folder's called this one, right, then I'm gonna say, okay, C users SOLTECH, that's my username, desktop, and the name of the folder, this space 1, and double quotes. So that should move all my text files in, well, this one. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to point that out in case that wasn't clear. So let me delete that. All right. So knowing that, we'll use that in our script. So first thing we want to know is as soon as we run the script, we want to check if the folders are created. Otherwise, if you try to move them into the folder, then it just won't exist, right? So it won't move them there. You could set it so it creates it or even renames it or etc. But we'll keep it as simple as we can. So let's do that first. Let's check if the folders are there. So we'll say we'll use os.popen, and in this we'll run the command dir /d, and whatever that says we'll read that, and we'll put that in a variable called show desktop because that's what's happening. We're showing the desktop. Let me put an underscore, actually makes it more okay. So let me keep just translating this to this side over here. So if I'm over here on my command prompt and I want to show desktop or show the directory, you'll see that, you know, it's just showing all the files and all the text files, all the PDF files. And say if we have a folder, I'll create that new folder. I run this again. You'll notice that, where is it at? Here it is. You'll notice that for a folder, it'll add an opening and closing bracket. And we could use that to our advantage when creating this script. So we could kind of check for this. All right, so we'll do that. It would say if, say in this case we're naming the folder text files, right? So if text, and remember we want to use open and closing brackets. If text files in show desktop, basically saying, hey, if you find this when I run the command, then that means there's the folder is there, right? So then what if the folder is already there? Well, then we could start moving any files that belong to that folder. So we'll say we can use subprocess for this one, actually. So we'll say subprocess.run, and we'll run this command. We'll say move, and then we'll say move text, all the text files, and then select your location. So see, it's gonna be under users, SOLTECH, it's gonna be under desktop, and it should be called, let me move this over actually. There you go. Desktop backslash and text files. We'll put that there. Shall, actually that should be good. There you go. Oops. The reason I put double quotes here is because we're having a space by default. We wouldn't need a quotes, or I believe we shouldn't need it. I can't remember, it's been a while, but we shouldn't need it if this was just close together like this or even like this. But just because I want to keep the space there, then we use double quotes inside. Okay, and part of using subprocess.run, we need to set our shell to true. That way, and then yeah, so what this is going to do is just move all your text files to your folder called text files, if it exists, right? So if it doesn't exist, it's not going to run it. So we need to create a condition for that. So let's do that. If we'll create an else if statement. We'll say if the text files folder, whoops, I forgot the opening and closing bracket. So if this folder is not in show desktop, then and oops, sorry about that. That was my phone. Okay. And dot, we'll say dot text is in show desktop. So this is saying, hey, if the oops, that's a curly bracket. Whoops, Jesus. Okay, so if the folder, what am I doing? There you go. Sorry about that. If the folder text files is not in show desktop, and there's text files in our show desktop results, which that's what we're running here. This is the output basically that we have. So basically if there's no folder but there's text files, and we'll have to create it and then move it. So we'll do that. Open, and we'll do make directory, and we'll keep it simple. We'll just say make directory and then call it exactly that, make text files. And that should be it. We don't need to put that in a variable, even read it. So we'll do that. So once this will create the folder. Make directory is just the syntax for Windows command line, and then you just specify the folders. We'll need a double bracket there. Double quotation, and that looks good. Okay. So once we make the folder, then we can say, okay, we created the folder, and now we could actually move the files there, right? So subprocess again, run, move all the text files to, we'll just copy this right here. So move all my text files to the text files folder. And this should be there because I created here. Okay. I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need to use double / because right here, / because this will, what was it again? It starts an 8-character unit code escape, and we don't need this for our case scenario. It's just for encoding or debugging or whatnot. So I'll show you here. Let me try to run this. And then we'll look at the error. Yeah, you get a Unicode error. So what it's reading, this /u is right here. So to fix that, we're gonna need to use double. We could use double. Just double it right here. I should do it. Okay. So at this point, we could say if the folder's not there, if the folder's there, I'm sorry, then move my files. But if the folder's not there and I have files, then create the folder and then move all my files. So let's run it. It's gonna run it here in this terminal. We should change location, by the way, because we're actually on our desktop. There you go. So let's do that. And it looks like I created the folder, but I got some errors. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Because I didn't do the shell here. I didn't set a shell to true. So you got to here. Throw that away. All right, let's try it again. And there they go. Cool. So that's basically it. I'm not forgetting anything, right? If you want to be all tedious and stuff, you could say else and then just say none. Like if you really want to. I like it like that just because I know what's going on. I'm purposely saying that, hey, if anything else happens, then do nothing, basically. It's up to you. You'll be fine if you don't put that in. So yeah, that basically took care of that. I'm sorry, I can't talk, you guys. I'm trying to talking is hard for me, if you haven't noticed yet. But hopefully, if my talking is not helping you, then you could always mute and just kind of copy the code here. But yeah, sorry. All right, cool. And that's basically it. If you wanted to do it for the PDF files, and literally all you do is just copy and then paste it and change your folder to PDF file. So we'll change this to PDF files, and then don't forget to change the extension, which is move all files that end with the PDF extension right here. Yes, I see this one, and that should be good. All right, so the same concept is going to be applied to PDF files, and if you have any other types of files that you want to be moving, then you could just copy and paste and do the same thing. Change the folder type, and then make sure you change the extension of all the files you're moving, if it's types pictures, JPEG, or whatever. And I would say this right here alone is just the fundamental. I mean, if you want to include the import, but this right here is the fundamental of everything. It checks whether the folder's there or not, and it moves your files. Simple as that. So if I move it, if I run it, there we go. And that's how you do that. Cool. I'm trying to see if there's anything I could say about this that that you might have a question of or not. But yeah, no, hopefully that was helpful. I'm sure you guys can make it a lot better than I did, and you could get creative with it, build on top of it. Possibilities with this are endless. Pretty straightforward, and yeah, hopefully you make use of it. I made this because I know my mom works in payroll, and she'll find it very handy. She's always leaving a huge mess on her desktop, so that's where I got this little side project here that I made. Okay, cool. All right. Take care, guys.